Resident Evil 2002, the movie that changed video game films forever. Before Resident Evil became a billion-dollar movie franchise, before Alice became one of action cinema's most recognizable heroines, and before zombie movies exploded back into mainstream popularity, there was one risky experiment that almost nobody expected to succeed. Released in 2002, Resident Evil arrived at a time when video game movies had a terrible reputation. Audiences expected awkward adaptations with thin stories and forgettable action. Yet director Paul W.S. Anderson took Capcom's survival horror universe and built something different, a fast-paced blend of science fiction, horror, and action that introduced an entirely new protagonist while borrowing the atmosphere, monsters, and corporate conspiracy that made the games famous. The result divided fans. Some criticized the changes from the games, while others embraced the movie as its own interpretation. More than 20 years later, it's still one of the most influential video game adaptations ever made, launching a 6-film franchise and helping shape modern zombie cinema. Today, we're looking back at what made Resident Evil work, where it stumbled, how its filmmaking choices still hold up, and why people are still debating it decades later. Let's enter the hive. Why this movie was such a gamble. In the late 1990s, Capcom's timed Resident Evil games had already become a cultural phenomenon. Instead of focusing on non-stop action, they emphasized suspense, limited resources, and the fear of not knowing what lurked around the next corner. Adapting that tension into a feature film wasn't easy. Rather than directly recreating the first game, the filmmakers built a new story set inside the Umbrella Corporation's underground laboratory, known as the Hive. This decision gave them freedom to surprise longtime fans while introducing newcomers to the world. Whether that was the right choice is still one of the biggest debates surrounding the movie, and we'll come back to that later. The real star isn't Alice, it's Umbrella. One of the smartest aspects of the film isn't any single character. It's the Umbrella Corporation itself. Umbrella represents a recurring science fiction warning. What happens when corporations pursue profit without accountability? Throughout the movie, the company treats groundbreaking biological research as a commercial product while ignoring the ethical risks that come with it. Instead of presenting evil as one person's ambition, the story suggests that systems built around secrecy and profit can become dangerous on their own. That's an idea that has only become more relevant in the decades since the film's release. Alice, an unusual action hero. Creating Alice, instead of adapting Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield as the central protagonist, was controversial. Game fans understandably wanted the heroes they already loved, yet introducing Alice allowed the audience to discover the world alongside someone who had lost her memories. Her confusion became the viewer's confusion. This narrative device keeps exposition natural while making Alice's gradual transformation into a capable survivor feel earned rather than immediate. At the same time, her growing confidence reflects one of the film's recurring themes. Survival isn't about physical strength alone, it's about adapting faster than everyone else.